Hi, I'm Claire, and we're here in the Bon Appetit test kitchen for one of my most favorite activities ever, cookie decorating. We're showcasing these techniques as part of Kin Community's second annual Christmas cookie collaboration. Kin is putting up a new cookie recipe every day leading up until Christmas, so check out Kin's YouTube channel. The road to cookie decorating success starts with a great recipe, and our ultimate sugar cookie is pretty perfect. The dough comes together in minutes, it's really easy to roll out and cut, and it bakes really quickly. So if you're doing high volume for the holidays, they're in and out of the oven in minutes. This technique is the simplest and also my favorite. It's just a simple dusting of powdered sugar, which gives all of your baking projects a really finished look. I have a little powdered sugar in a fine mesh sieve, and all I do is dust the top of the cookie. You can also use the same technique with cocoa, which adds a little bit of flavor and also a color contrast, or you can mix the two. You can also upgrade the pattern a little bit by using these stencils. I made these out of parchment paper, which I just folded in half several times and then cut shapes out using scissors, just like you did when you were a kid and you made paper snowflakes. It makes these great shapes. Another really easy way to upgrade your holiday cookies is to give them a drizzle with melted chocolate. I have some here in a piping bag. If you don't have a piping bag, you can always use a resealable plastic bag like this one and just snip the corner. So once you snip the end, you can just practice on a little corner of the parchment paper to make sure you have a nice steady line. Then I just go directly onto the cookie. All you have to do now is let the chocolate set, and you're done. Royal icing is your Christmas cookie workhorse. It's a simple mix of egg whites and powdered sugar, and as it dries, it hardens and becomes like edible spackle, so you can use all sorts of decorations. Just gonna practice a little bit on the edge of the parchment paper, making some lines and some dots, and then I just like to go freeform on the cookie. I made these cookies last week and froze them. They'll keep in the freezer for several weeks. You can store them at room temperature for 5 days, or you can make the dough ahead of time and freeze it for up to 2 months. And now, before the icing hardens, I can cover it in a little bit of sugar. If you make a pattern that you don't like or you mess up, you can eat the cookie, which is what I do at home. This technique uses royal icing as a blank canvas for the luster dust. If you've painted with watercolors before, you can totally do this. It's fairly forgiving. Just want to use a light stroke. Once you do a couple, you can really be creative, come up with your own patterns. But it really makes a unique holiday cookie. Here's a neat way to add texture and variety to our cookies using sesame seeds for a riff on the classic black and white cookie. And I start by drawing a line directly down the center of the cookie. Once I've coated 1/2 in icing, I dip in the sesame seeds, of course while the icing is still wet so they stick. Then I tap off the excess and let it dry. Then I do the other half. If you don't want to use sesame seeds, you can get the same effect with different colored sugars. This technique is so easy because the cookies go into the oven already decorated, and when they come out, you're done. Here's a tray of uncooked dough. I'm just brushing it with a little bit of beaten egg. Don't worry if any of the egg drips down along the side. If you have kids, this is a really fun, easy way to get them in the kitchen. Now I'm going to sprinkle over some coarse sugars. This is a mix of a couple different colors. You can use whatever you have. It adds a really glassy, sparkly effect to the surface of the cookie. I'm all done decorating today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me in the test kitchen. For more recipes, go to bonappetit.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to check out Kin's playlist of cookie recipes. Oh, so hungry. Keep it there. Okay. All right. And I'm done.